Carl Jung warned us about a hidden realm within our psyche, a space where we bury the emotions we refuse to acknowledge. This is what he called the shadow, a concealed part of ourselves that holds resentment, envy, anger, and even hatred. Society teaches us to suppress these emotions, conditioning us to wear masks of politeness and affection, even toward those we secretly dislike. But the shadow never disappears. It lingers beneath the surface, waiting for an opportunity to reveal itself. And the most intriguing part? No matter how hard someone tries to conceal their true feelings, subtle cracks always appear in the facade. Have you ever sensed something off about someone close to you? Their words may be friendly, their gestures warm, yet deep down, you feel an unspoken tension, a cold undercurrent beneath their smile. This is the paradox of hidden hatred. People rarely admit to harboring resentment, but their subconscious mind always finds a way to communicate it. A fleeting glare, an insincere laugh, or a seemingly harmless joke with a sharp edge. These are the breadcrumbs of concealed emotions. And if you learn to read them, you can uncover the truth that lies beneath the surface. But why do people hide their true feelings in the first place? For many, it's not just about social norms, it's about self-deception. The shadow isn't just hidden from others, it's often hidden from ourselves. Someone who secretly resents you may not even realize the depth of their own emotions. They suppress their envy, convincing themselves that they mean well, all while their unconscious mind leaks out micro-expressions of disdain. Jung believed that when people fail to integrate their shadow, it controls them from the depths, shaping their behavior in ways they don't understand. This is why detecting hidden animosity requires more than just listening to words. It demands an awareness of the subtle, body language, micro-expressions, inconsistencies in behavior. Most importantly, it requires a deep understanding of human nature. If you've ever felt that someone's actions don't quite match their words, trust that feeling. The shadow always leaves traces, and those who learn to see it can protect themselves from its influence. No matter how carefully someone tries to mask their true emotions, the unconscious mind always finds a way to betray them. Carl Jung believed that what is repressed will eventually find expression, often in ways that escape conscious control. This is where micro-expressions come into play. Those fleeting, involuntary facial movements that last mere fractions of a second but reveal a person's genuine feelings. A brief sneer, a subtle tightening of the jaw, or a flash of contempt in the eyes. These tiny gestures speak louder than words. Imagine having a conversation with someone who claims to support you, yet when you share your success, their smile fades for just an instant before they force it back. Or perhaps their tone of voice shifts ever so slightly, laced with a tension that wasn't there before. These are not coincidences. They are the unconscious surfacing, exposing the emotions they don't want you to see. While most people focus only on spoken words, those who pay attention to these micro-expressions can decipher the truth that lingers beneath the surface. Beyond facial expressions, there are other subtle cues that reveal hidden hostility. Watch for inconsistencies in behavior. Someone who secretly dislikes you may engage in passive-aggressive acts. Small but telling signs like giving half-hearted compliments or conveniently forgetting important things related to you. Their energy shifts when you're around, even if their words remain polite. Pay attention to their body language. Do they subtly distance themselves when speaking to you? Do their eyes betray an emotion that contradicts their words? The unconscious never remains silent. It always finds a way to communicate, even when the conscious mind is trying to suppress it. Jung emphasized that much of human behavior is driven by forces beneath our awareness. This is why people often struggle to hide their resentment. They may believe they are being subtle, but their unconscious betrays them through the smallest of actions. Once you train yourself to notice these cues, you'll no longer be deceived by false smiles or empty pleasantries. You'll begin to see people for who they truly are, not just for who they pretend to be. Hatred doesn't always begin as hatred. Sometimes it is born from something far more insidious: admiration. Carl Jung believed that envy is often the root of hidden resentment. When someone sees qualities in you that they secretly desire for themselves, confidence, success, intelligence, or even just a sense of inner peace, they may start by admiring you. But over time, that admiration can curdle into bitterness, especially if it forces them to confront their own inadequacies. The process is almost imperceptible at first. They might celebrate your victories, but a hint of frustration creeps into their voice. They might compliment you, but there's a stiffness in their expression. Deep inside, they are comparing themselves to you, and the more they feel like they are falling short, the more their subconscious turns against you. Instead of seeking to improve themselves, they project their frustration outward, blaming you for making them feel inferior. The truth, however, is that it's not you who is the problem. It's the unresolved battle within themselves. Jung referred to this as psychological projection. When a person refuses to acknowledge their own flaws or insecurities, they project those feelings onto others. If they feel weak, they call you arrogant. If they feel unsuccessful, they label you as lucky or undeserving. Their resentment becomes a distorted mirror, reflecting back their own struggles but disguising them as your flaws. This is why someone who secretly hates you may criticize you in ways that seem strangely personal or disproportionate, as if your very existence is an offense to them. The most dangerous aspect of hidden envy is that it often masquerades as something else: concern, constructive criticism, or even friendship. They might position themselves as a supporter while subtly undermining you, offering advice that feels more like discouragement or celebrating your failures more than your successes. The key to identifying this hidden resentment is to look beyond their words and observe the underlying emotion. Do they truly wish you well, or do they secretly revel in your struggles? Once you learn to recognize this dynamic, you can break free from the illusion and protect yourself from the toxic influence of those who resent you for simply being who you are. When someone harbors resentment toward you but doesn't want to or can't express it openly, they often resort to subtle psychological tactics. Two of the most common weapons of hidden hatred are gaslighting and passive-aggressive behavior. These methods allow them to attack you while maintaining plausible deniability, making you question your own perceptions rather than recognizing their hostility for what it is. Carl Jung believed that the unconscious mind drives much of human behavior, meaning that even when someone is unaware of their own resentment, it still seeps into their actions. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious tactics. A person who secretly dislikes you might subtly undermine your reality, making you doubt yourself. They might dismiss your concerns with phrases like, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened," even when you clearly remember the event. They might contradict things they previously said or twist situations to make you feel like the unreasonable one. Over time, this erodes your confidence, making you second-guess your instincts and even your own sanity. It's a form of psychological control, a way for them to assert dominance without ever having to engage in direct confrontation. Passive-aggressive behavior, on the other hand, operates in a different way. Instead of directly expressing their resentment, they let it leak out through backhanded compliments, sarcasm, or deliberate acts of subtle sabotage. They might forget to invite you to something important or offer you advice that seems helpful on the surface but is actually designed to discourage you. Their hostility is disguised as humor, concern, or innocence, so that if you call them out, they can easily dismiss it by saying, "I was just joking," or "You're taking this the wrong way." The goal is to inflict harm without ever being held accountable for it. Jung emphasized that repression doesn't eliminate emotions. It simply forces them to express themselves in distorted ways. People who engage in gaslighting and passive aggression are often unaware of their own motivations. They tell themselves they're being reasonable or even helpful, but deep down, their shadow is at work, manipulating them into actions that serve their buried resentment. Recognizing these behaviors is crucial because once you see them for what they are, you can refuse to be manipulated. The moment you stop questioning your own reality and start trusting your instincts, their power over you begins to dissolve. Carl Jung believed that the key to protecting yourself from hidden resentment and toxic energy lies in self-awareness. When you truly know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, other people's negativity loses its power over you. Their passive-aggressive comments don't shake your confidence. Their manipulations don't make you question your reality. And their envy no longer feels like a personal attack, but rather a reflection of their own unresolved struggles. Jung called this process individuation, the journey of integrating all aspects of the self, including the shadow, so that you are no longer controlled by the unconscious forces that govern most people's behavior. The first step is recognizing that other people's emotions are not your responsibility. If someone resents you, envies you, or secretly hates you, that is their inner battle, not yours. It is a projection of their own insecurities, a struggle that exists within them long before it ever involved you. The moment you stop internalizing their negativity is the moment you take back your power. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can observe their behavior from a place of detachment, understanding that their resentment has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. But awareness alone isn't enough. You must also establish boundaries. Protecting yourself from toxic individuals doesn't mean fighting them or trying to change them. It means refusing to engage in their game. When someone gaslights you, stay firm in your reality. When they undermine you with passive-aggressive comments, don't give them the emotional reaction they seek. When they attempt to manipulate you through guilt or obligation, remember that you are not responsible for their feelings. Jung believed that true power comes from within, and when you cultivate inner strength, external negativity can no longer reach you. The most powerful thing you can do is to transform their negativity into fuel for your own growth. Instead of being drained by their resentment, use it as a reminder of your own progress. People only envy those who are doing something right. Their hidden hatred is a sign that you are evolving, that you are embodying something they wish they had. So instead of letting it bring you down, let it push you forward. And if this video helped you see things more clearly, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. Because I post videos like this every day, helping you navigate the hidden layers of the mind and uncover the deeper truths about yourself and the world around you.